welcome back to Dumb Slow Hobbies, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a spoiler review for Spider-Man Homecoming. I will say this, spoiler review, if you have not watched my non-spoiler review, there's a lot of stuff that I actually said in that review that I'm not going to repeat in this one, so feel free to, if you want to get more of my thoughts on the movie, go ahead and watch that video. With that said, let's go ahead and begin talking about this movie with, of course, a huge spoiler of Endgame. If you haven't watched that, don't watch anything Spider-Man. Tony Stark died. My favorite character died. And you know, when I went to go see this movie, I will say this, I really wasn't expecting to enjoy Spider-Man that much. I just really wanted to see what the repercussions of the loss of Tony Stark was going to be. That was okay. I was super excited for all of that. But my God, I thought that this, after seeing it, was just fantastic. Not only for what they were able to do with the loss of Tony Stark, obviously, but more importantly, what it made me feel for the character of Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man's really going to be the glue of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just like through the other times. What it really was, just Iron Man, Tony Stark was really the first one that started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it was Iron Man that carried us through. And really, when you think of it, it's kind of poetic that his protege is going to be the future of the cinematic universe, Spidey-Man. Let's go ahead and talk about what happens in this movie. Well, what they call, and I kind of don't like what they called it, the blip. People just blipped out. Well, they didn't blip out, they disintegrated out. But anyway, you know, Spider-Man is dealing with that. A bunch of the kids from his time are now 5 years older. He has to repeat his last school here, and he starts liking Mary Jane. But here's the problem: a little snot-nosed brat, or at least used to be a little snot-nosed brat, is now old enough to like her as well. So now Spider-Man has to hopefully get the girl and hopefully not kill the guy who is wooing her. And I'm not kidding about that. There's actually a scene where he almost kills all of the people on his bus in his class because of his idiocy and not realization of how powerful he is thanks to Tony Stark. I thought that was insane. And I'm talking about that scene where the drone comes out and almost destroys the bus. I thought that was funny. And then when you actually have Samuel L. Jackson's theory actually call him out on that, I thought that was fantastic. A lot of the time, they don't typically do jokes like that with Nick Fury. You just don't joke with Nick Fury. Nick Fury jokes with you, but what they actually did with Nick Fury and the jokes on Nick Fury was actually a whole lot of fun. Spoiler alert, that wasn't Nick Fury either. It actually ended up being a Skrull. That was actually a lot of fun. That was a lot of interesting. While all of this is happening, though, Nick Fury, actually the Skrull, calls him up because there's a problem with the multi-universe thing. Apparently, these elemental monsters came alive and they're trying to destroy our universe. And apparently they destroyed Mysterio's universe. And Mysterio has come to hopefully help save the day. He wants Spider-Man's help because it turns out that Tony Stark has left everything to Peter Parker. Not just his tech, But he also left the Avengers. You know, the Avengers don't show up in this movie, but that's something I'm definitely going to be doing a separate video for, is the fact that Peter Parker is really now going to be the next leader of the Avengers. I mean, everyone says it was Captain America, but let's be honest with you. Iron Man was the hero of the Avengers. So, I don't care who you are. I don't care what's your opinion on that. Iron Man was at least the hero to me when it came to the Avengers. That's just how I'm always going to think. But this movie has left everything to Peter Parker. All of his tech, all of his knowledge, all of his smarts. It's fantastic. I absolutely love that aspect of it, because it just, what it means for the future of the of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that Spider-Man's going to have to step up. Spider-Man's going to have to be that Tony Stark figure. Now here's the question. Can he be that Tony Stark figure? Now, I never thought that Tom Holland was that bad of an actor or anything like that, but I just never thought Tom Holland was going to pull out such a fantastic character from Peter Parker. And he really, really did in this movie. The absolute best scene of the movie to me, I actually talked about in my non-spoiler review, was that moment when they're on the airplane and Peter Parker is at his lowest point and he's talking to Happy, and Happy tells him, "You're not Iron Man. You're never gonna be Iron Man." But Iron Man, and I'm paraphrasing here, Iron Man trusted you. Now what are you going to do? You know, the speech is a lot more meaningful and emotional than that. It was actually starting to move me with Happy's speech there. That was incredible. Throughout the movie, though, Spider-Man is, let's get back on track. He's trying to get the girl, while at the same time trying to save the day from these monsters. Well, it turns out that these monsters aren't monsters. It's just Mysterio with his special effects. And that's the thing. Mysterio, he's not a magician. He has no powers. He's a guy with special effects. And what does Spider-Man have to defeat those special effects? He has Spider-Man senses. My spider senses are tingling. Remember that old phrase? Well, now it's Peter Parker tingle, or Peter tingle, or something like that. I love the fact that they made fun of that, because that whole Spider-Man tingle, it makes sense, but it's always been really kind of a funny statement in the movie, and I just love the fact that they used that whole joke throughout the movie. And it's also really important to say that Spider-Man, he's trusting his eyes more than he's trusting his own instincts. And it's only when he starts trusting his own instincts that he starts winning. You know, and that was incredible. And then, of course, the special effects. My God, the special effects, man, of Mysterio. Oh my God, they were just incredible. There was also this one scene that just blew my mind away. We had this tomb of Tony Stark. We had Tony Stark written on a tombstone. And then out of nowhere, zombie Iron Man pops out. And my God, my heart skipped a beat. That actually scared me. Must have scared Peter Parker even more. And just how Mysterio kept messing with the mind of Peter Parker was just incredible. And I'm talking about Mysterio like he's the greatest villain of all, because, well, he really was for this movie. But with that said, what they were able to do with the character of Mysterio, how he was built up in this movie, really just made him one of the better villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How he connected to Spider-Man, how he became the hero for Spider-Man, how Spider-Man trusted him with the technology of Iron Man, how he doubted himself, but how he hopefully believed in this figure of heroism, and he ends up being nothing more but a piece of trash. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I actually really enjoyed how they pulled back some of the characters from the other Spider-Man movie, from not the other Spider-Man movie, the other Iron Man movies. I mean, you had that one scientist that Stain yelled at. You never thought that any of these characters were going to be brought back up again or anything like that. And, I mean, here's the facts. Mysterio was actually in Far From Home as well. That was interesting. I just enjoyed how they connected the dots there. It really just brings the whole story back together, don't it? Well, I will say this. This movie was fantastic. It made me care about Spider-Man, and that's all I really have to say about it. I mean, you want to talk about the other characters. I really didn't care for Spider-Man's friends. I didn't care for Mary Jane in this movie. I just kind of cared about what it meant for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I will also be doing a separate video for again, and what the repercussions of Endgame had on this movie, had on the character of Spider-Man. That was the point of this movie, and I loved it. Now, there is a certain last scene that I do want to talk about. Yes, Mysterio died, but he left a very, very interesting video. Thanks to that, Spider-Man is not only revealed to be as Peter Parker, but is in fact the villain. He has warped and edited that video to turn it into Peter Parker is a villain. So in the next movie, we have to deal with that. Peter Parker is going to have to deal with the fact that his identity is out there. Spider-Man is known, and he is now known as a vigilante, a villain. Boy, that was just an incredible 100% twist. I loved it. I loved the movie. I loved the movie. Now, is it the best movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? No. No, it's not. It doesn't beat Endgame, and it doesn't even touch Infinity War or Civil War. But my God, it was actually a pretty good film. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know what your thoughts are on Spider-Man Far From Home down in the comments down below. And I am out. Bye.